Awesome. We are live and I see the audience trickling in. I'm going to give a minute for everyone Zoom to connect. It takes a moment for the audio and voice to connect. I see around 25, 30 people in the room already. So those of you who are in the room, if in the chat window you can let us know the city you're dialing in from, city and country you're dialing in from, that would be really great. I'm assuming a lot of our audience today are from India, given the timing of the session. But in case anyone is dialing in from outside of India, please let us know of that as well. I see Lipika from Delhi. I see Shrutika from Mumbai. Keep those responses coming in. It's an audio test as well for me to know that my audio is well connected and you're able to hear me. So I see Harsh, Rohan, uh, Shruti from Mumbai. I see Nishant from Pondicherry. I see Mahit from Bangalore. Great. I see someone dialing in from Accra, Ghana as well. Okay, great. This is really early in the morning for you, Glenda, but thank you for dialing in. I see Jesha from Kashmir. I see Kunchan from Delhi. I see Manjot from Punjab. Ishan from Noida. Great. So keep those responses coming in. It's always great to see where our audience is coming from. And with that, let me also kickstart this session. Welcome, everyone. Good morning to those of you who are in the eastern or the western side of the world, and anyone who's dialing in from Singapore or rest of Southeast Asia. Good afternoon to all of you. My name is Sanjay Dhingra. I'm the Chief Operating Officer and co-founder at Seed Global Education. Those of you who have interacted with us in the past know that we specialize in such interactions. We specialize in facilitating interactions between prospective students like yourself and top business schools and universities from around the world, including North America, Europe, Asia, and rest of the world as well. Today's session is extremely special. We are talking to current students and the admissions officer at Nanyang Business School in Singapore. We are going to speak to them about the Singapore study experience for an Indian student. So for a lot of you in India, Singapore is a popular destination for your master's studies. So today we are going to talk about what it really takes to study in Singapore as an Indian student. What are the benefits? What are the upsides? We'll also talk to them about some gray areas and the difficult challenges that they face, if any. But we'll cover all of this in today's session very shortly. About the flow of today's session, what we are going to do. First, we are going to speak to Regine Wong, who's from the admissions office at NBS. So we'll understand from her about NBS's master's programs. They have some really good programs in marketing science, business analytics, financial engineering, and accounting, and also, of course, the MBA program as well. So we are going to talk to her about the programs, understand their structure, the admission criteria, and then we are going to go on and speak to some current students from the master's program. So we are going to speak with Gopika, who's a current MSc student of marketing science at NBS. We are going to speak to Shivani, who's a student of business analytics, and then we are going to speak to Leandro, who's also a student of financial engineering. All of them, of course, come from India, as you can guess from the name. So we are going to talk to them about their study experience in Singapore as an Indian student very shortly. But first, something about that. Let me hand over the floor to Regine to tell us more about the admission criteria.
Thank you so much, Sanjay. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. So let me share my slides, and then I will get right on to today's presentation, because I think the heart of today's presentation is going to be our student sharing. So I'll just quickly go through the offerings of the Nanyang Business School. So first off, I'm Regine from the Nanyang Business School. I'm the Assistant Director at the Graduate Studies Office, where I managed the marketing and admissions of the Specialized Master's Program in accountancy, in business analytics, marketing science, and financial engineering. So right now, I'm just going to go through a very short presentation on the business school and our programs. Okay. So NTU, okay, sorry, my slide. Okay, so NTU is established in 1991 as a very research-intensive global university. So our experts, the NTU expertise lies in technology, innovation, and research. And we're consistently ranked as one of the top universities in the world. In the latest QS World University ranking, we're ranked 26 in the world. And at the Times Higher Education Young University ranking, we are ranked first among schools that are less than 50 years old. And in the latest QS Asia University ranking, we are ranked number 4 in Asia. So when you join NTU and graduate from the university as well as Nanyang Business School, you are immediately part of a very strong, engaged global network. So you can look at the statistic on the screen right now. There are close to 300,000 NTU alumni. And at the business school itself, we have more than 60,000 Nanyang Business School alumni across, represented in over 170 countries globally. So about Nanyang Business School, we are one of Asia's leading business school, and we are renowned for providing research-oriented, interdisciplinary, and industry-relevant education. The branding of Nanyang Business School is, recognized globally by employers everywhere globally as well, and by peer university in the world. And we are both accredited by AACSB as well as EQUIS accredited for the business school. So a lot of people have been asking, what it really means to be a Nanyang Business School. So you can see these three words on the screen: innovate, lead, and transform. So these are really the pillars where the Nanyang Business School it's the pillars that is deeply entrenched in the business school. So as a premier business school within a leading technological university, we are really at the intersections of technology and business, and we aim to enable our students to be able to innovate wherever they go, to lead with cultural dexterity, and to transform in all the things that we do. So for those of you who have not been to our NTU campus, this is the new home of the Nanyang Business School on NTU campus. It is also the largest wooden building in Asia. And this is also the 8th net zero building energy in NTU, which really also it is also sustainability is also something that the business school and the university is very passionate about. And there are only 16 net zero building in Singapore, and already half of them are on NTU campus. So we really do take sustainability very, very seriously. So right now, I just deep dive into the 4 specialized master's program that we offer. Okay, so the accounting program, actually Nanyang Business School actually started as a school of accounting and business a long time ago. So we are definitely one of the most established accountancy school in Asia, and we are top flight globally in experimental audit research. Our curriculum design has a lot of focus in the future. A lot of future competencies. We have included forensic accounting, digital forensic, data analytics, and machine learning in our curriculum. We also have a specialization in data analytics in accounting, and also highly industry relevant curriculum. And some of our courses are co-taught with Big 4 accounting firm. Next is the business analytics master's program. Again, we take pride in focusing on developing future focus competency in our curriculum. There's things to learn in machine learning, in blockchain, in AI, and our curriculum are always being reviewed by faculty members to ensure that we are teaching what is latest in the marketplace. And again, this highly industry relevant. We have data analytics practicum, which is actually a full-time internship that we built into the curriculum. So students will actually be attached to a real organization in Singapore to work on analytics related projects. And of course, we emphasize the use of real-world data as much as possible when faculty members are illustrating what they're teaching in class. And this is also a cross-collaboration between the School of Physical and Mathematical Sciences and School of Computer Science Engineering for this program. So finally, but financial engineering is one of the most established masters in the business school. It has more than 20 years of history for this program. And it is a very intense and covers a very comprehensive curriculum. So, and it's cover 24 courses in the whole one-year program. And it's also collaboration within the School of Physical and Mathematical Sciences. And we also have an international collaborator with Carnegie Mellon University. So students can actually choose to spend the 7 weeks in a mini term at Carnegie Mellon University. So for this program, we also emphasizes a lot of the industry insights and networks. So we actually organize exclusive speaker series where our students are able to interact with industry speakers. And also the marketing science program. This is a very popular program that we offer at the business school. We offer a very holistic curriculum covering courses centered on the marketing, consumer insights, as well as marketing technology. So we have very interesting modules that are like, AR, VR, AI and robotics, neuroscience, and neuromarketing and ethnography that, you don't find in many traditional marketing master's program. And also it's very practice oriented, where, students have opportunity to work with great organizations on a marketing challenge that they want our students to solve. We also try to have field visits where possible to organizations. Yeah. So our program is on a 1-year full-time basis for international students, because international students can only study in a full-time mode unless you have other visas to stay in Singapore. So the good thing about our program is can be extended to a 1.5 years program through an internship module after you finish your coursework in May. Okay, so these are our admissions criteria. A bachelor's degree is the minimum. GMAT and GRE score is required for the accountancy program, the business analytics program, and the financial engineering program. So all our specialized master's program do not require any work experience. So you're welcome to apply if you're in the final year of your undergraduate degree. So I believe all of you probably do not need the TOEFL or IELTS. This is only required if your program does not use English as the medium of instruction. If English is used as the teaching language, we can waive off this requirement. Okay, so right now we're already accepting application for next year, July intake. So this is enrolling admissions that we have, which means that the admissions team do not review the application after the deadlines, but review it on an ongoing basis. Yeah. So also at the business school, all our students have dedicated career support. So there are one-on-one career coaching, there are workshops, seminars that are offered by my colleagues in the careers office. There's also different careers tools like job portals available for our students to search for internship and full-time employment. And of course, they are there to help to connect our students to alumni, to industry mentors, employers, etc., to support our students in terms of their career journey. So, okay, so we also have different scholarships and grants across all our programs that the applicants can apply. So if you are interested to apply for scholarship, please ensure that you complete the scholarship section in your online application when you put in your application submission. And for students, if I'm not sure if any one of you are NTU alumni, if you are entitled to a 10% discount, 10% grant for the tuition fee. Yeah. So again, if you're interested in any of our programs and you want to reach out to us to learn more in depth about the program or to schedule a profile consultation, feel free to reach out to us through our any of these emails addressed. And then we welcome you to follow us on social media. If you want to keep in touch with us to learn what is happening in the business school. Okay, so with this, I have completed my sharing. Yep.
Great. Thanks, Regine. This was extremely insightful. I know you did not speak about the MBA program, and there are some questions, some attendees in the audience who are asking about that. So I'm going to cover that in the Q&A section. So Harshul, I've seen your question. I'm going to come and talk about MBA programs as well. But before we do all of that, I want to bring in, of course, the current students on the screen as well. And before I invite each one of them to speak to you, I want to run a quick poll for now. So if you can see the screen, the poll on your screen right now, the question is, which NBS program are you most interested in? So if you are someone with 2+ years of work experience or completing 2 years of work experience in 2024, then you can possibly look at the full-time MBA program. If you are a fresh graduate or you're going to have less than 2 years of work ex, Regine, am I correct in assuming that for the MBA program, they need to have minimum 2 years of work ex, or is it 3 years?
Yes, that's right. 2 years of work experience.
Okay. So if you are, so those in the audience, if you're completing your 2 years or plus of work experience by July, August next year, then possibly you can target the full-time program. If not, then you are eligible for one of the master's programs. As Regine spoke about, they have a MSc in accountancy, financial engineering, business analytics, and marketing science. So if any of those programs appeal to you, click those options and let us know the program that you're most interested in pursuing. If you get through to NBS. That is, of course, it's competitive, extremely selective. It's an aspirational choice for a lot of Indian students. So there's going to be a lot of competition over there. But let us know which program appeals to you the most. I have 125 people who have already responded to this poll. I'm going to keep this open for another 5 seconds. So if you haven't responded, please do respond. It would be great to see which is your program of interest. Great. With that, I'm going to end the poll and share the results as well. Regine, interestingly, a lot of interest in the MBA program. So almost 56% of the audience want to look at the MBA program. These could also be people who possibly don't yet meet the eligibility criteria for the MBA program. These could be fresh graduates. But in India, you can possibly pursue an MBA without work experience. So there will be some lack of clarity over there. There are 6% who are interested in accountancy, 13% looking at financial engineering, 17% looking at the Masters in Business Analytics program, and 9% looking at the Masters in Marketing Science program. Awesome. So this is a perfect segue to bring in our panelists for today. So I want to invite the current students to come on screen, and we are going to speak to each one of them. I also see questions coming in about the scholarships. I'm going to speak about those as well. But I made a quick post about about the Nanyang Business School scholarships available through the Seed Scholarships Fund. I posted a link over there. Nanyang has committed some special scholarships for attendees of today's session. These scholarships can go up to 30% of your tuition fee, of your master's tuition fee at NBS. So if you haven't yet applied to these for these scholarships, you can do that on the link that I've already shared in the chat. I'm going to talk more about the scholarships once we get into the Q&A and further discussion. But as of now, let me invite the three current students, which is Gopika, Shivani, and Leandro, to share their study experience at Nanyang Business School and tell us about their journey till there and their current journey as a student at NBS in Singapore. Let's start with Gopika.
Yeah, sure. I'll just share my screen. Is it visible?
It is.
Okay, great. So hi guys, my name is Gopika and I was born in Kerala, but I currently live in Bangalore. And I was brought up entirely in the Middle East in Bahrain. And post that, I did my undergrad in NIFT from NIFT in fashion communication. And post that, I've also interned in various companies to finally end up in the advertising industry. I have about a year of experience in an ad agency called Bluebot in Bangalore. And apart from this, I also like dancing, traveling, photography, and also exploring new places and cuisines. So this is just a brief timeline of how I, prepared myself from the admission offer to the orientation. So I got my admission offer in Jan, and so the graduate housing cycle opens in May. So just as a backup, I had started looking out for off-campus accommodation in April. And then in May, when it opened, I applied for it. In June, I got the confirmation. In July, I applied for the student visa. So here is where the university also comes in, and they will also help you a lot to go through the whole process. So you don't have to worry much about that. I got the approval in within 15 days, but I think it depends from person to person. And by July end, I booked my tickets and moved into the graduate hall, and the orientation week starts. And in August, the trimester 1 started. So now how our class is different from India. Here we have a lot of readings and videos, a lot of articles to read, a lot of books to read before you come to the class. So always come prepared. For most of our courses in marketing science, 2 out of 4 courses from trimester 1 was industry level clients. We worked with them for our group assignments. And it's really great. Another thing that I really liked is over here they appreciate the professors after every class. So like they clap, which is a really cute gesture. Some professors also bring us goodies. So you can see this is a mooncake. It's usually eaten during the Chinese New Year, and which is fun. Some courses, we also have games. So the professors try to make it interactive. So we have online and physical games. Like you can see, we had like a Lego exercise where they gave us a situation and we had to create something out of it. So yeah, and on the right hand side, you can see the NTU Hive, and this is below that is the view of NBS. I mean, from NBS, you can see the Hive. Next is if you wanna study in NTU Singapore, here are some things that you should be at least a little bit aware of. So number one, it's a hot climate. Compared to Bangalore, Singapore is like super hot. But yeah, so just be prepared for that. Competition is also super high. The connections, alumni connections are diverse, but still the competition is high. In Singapore, public transport is super convenient. So you either walk or you take the bus or the train. And you can also join the Graduate Student Association. They take part in major festivals. So yeah. So one of the reasons why I chose NBS is one, because it's highly ranked. So as Regine said, it's ranked number 26 in the world. So that's a great opportunity. Number two is MMS course curriculum. So this MMS program had a more tech and AI related course as compared to the other universities in UK or US, where they were offering more traditional coursework. And the last reason is Singapore. So Singapore is like the main portal from Asia to to the rest of the world. So, and also the Asian market is doing comparatively better than the Europe and US markets. So, yeah. What are two key takeaways from trimester one is one, like I said, 2 out of 4 courses were backed by industry clients. So that really stimulates the entire learning environment. You get to get feedbacks from the clients, which is great. And you get to learn from your peers. So all our subjects, we were in groups and we got to learn from our group members. And yeah, so that's basically it. So if you have any questions, you can ping me anytime on LinkedIn. And yeah, just scan the QR code or you can just search me up like Gopika Vipin. That's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Gopika. This was extremely insightful and extremely motivating for students looking at marketing or marketing science. It's good to know that the marketing program at NBS is not just pure traditional marketing, but combines science, analytics, and everything into the combination, which is what is relevant for today's markets. With that, let me invite our next student to talk about his experience at NBS. Let me hand over the screen to Leandro to tell us about his journey as an MSc Financial Engineering student at NBS. Over to you, Leandro.
Just a minute. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon, one and all. I'm Leandro Rodriguez. I come from Mumbai, India. I'm a full-time master student at pursuing an MSc in Financial Engineering at NTU NBS. So through this presentation, I'll be sharing my experience at NTU so far. Let's begin. So this is just a brief overview about me. I successfully concluded my undergraduate degree at IIT Delhi in May 2023. I was majoring in mathematics and computing. So this was a rigorous 4-year program which equipped me with a robust understanding of mathematics and programming. And this essentially laid a strong foundation for an understanding of both these topics, which in turn helped me like finalize my decision for my further academic pursuits. I've also done 2 significant internships during my undergraduate tenure. One was a data science intern at Huawei Technologies, and the other was a financial research intern at the Indian Institute of Quantitative Finance. So the second internship at IIQF basically helped me get a lot of insight into how modern computing methods and statistical models serve as a foundation of quantitative finance. And this in turn really spiked up my interest in the domain of quantitative finance and pushed me into applying for an MFE program. So there were a lot of a lot of factors that I considered while applying for an MFE program. When I essentially was researching through a lot of universities, the NTU MFE program just stood out to me as a perfect match for my requirements and needs. The primary factors for this would be the internationally acclaimed university that it is, and the consistently ranked as a top MFE program in Asia Pacific. Apart from that, the robust curriculum with a focus on practical skills and real world applications, and the strong ties with financial institutions leading to ample networking opportunities in Singapore were other factors that motivated me. Also, the opportunity to complete the program within a year, along with a term at Carnegie Mellon, which is another world-renowned institution, was also a very big plus point. So, like prior to sending in my application, I had prepared and took the GRE and IELTS examinations and had crafted a customized resume and statement of purpose for the relevant universities and program. So, yeah, that's about my preparation for this program. The image that you see here is the official acceptance mail that I had got from NTU in January 2023. So it was like just merely 10 days after my online interview. And the bottom right picture is the first image I took after coming to NTU, which was the entrance of the Graduate Hall 2, in which I'm currently residing in. So a bit more into the program itself. So the MFE program is truly interdisciplinary. So the first half of the program is focuses more on the individual facets of mathematics, programming, and finance, while the later half integrates all these three into the main topics of quantitative finance like term structure, risk management, and option pricing. The curriculum is highly technical and it covers virtually every facet of the quantitative finance industry there is. The as Regina had mentioned, the program is split across 6 mini terms. Each mini term like going across I guess around 7 weeks, and has 4 modules in each mini term. So additionally, if I had to mention about how the teaching in NTU is different from that of the universities in India, I would say that the teaching is much more focused on the Edgar Dale's cone of experience. So the course curriculum is typically more focused on practical skills, hands-on experience, case studies, real-world applications. The assessment methods are also quite diverse, including continuous assessments, projects, and article presentations. We also have even the professors have greater flexibility in designing and updating their courses, and thus they can incorporate more industry trends. And also, I'd like to mention the career development office at NTU has been of a great help so far, with a lot of emphasis on professional development through workshops and industry collaboration. Uh, Moreover, the NBS, which is one of the leading business schools in Asia Pacific, attracts a lot of students from diverse nationalities and academic backgrounds. So this leads to a more holistic learning environment where there's a lot more exchange of perspectives. Also, the area of MSc programs at NBS also gives MFE students the opportunities to take up additional electives if you are interested in some other program course. So these are some of the socializing activities that I've actively participated in so far. The first image is of the chill out event where not just students but also past alumni of the MFE program and the program professors were also invited in at the M Hotel. The second image is students of the Graduate Hall 2, where like we had gone on first a hiking trail, followed by a bus tour to major tourist spots of Singapore. And the third is the MSc Social Night at NBS Gaia. So where like all the different MSc students of NBS had been invited, and we could like interact with them, get to know more about their perspectives and so far. So this was a very good opportunity to learn more about the different programs as well as the perspectives of students, professors, and alumni of NBS. So this is just a compilation of my favorite spots to hang out or visit on campus. So the first two images are at North Pines, so the ARC building and the Levinam Library, followed by the Jurong Eco Gardens, which is like on the outskirts of NTU, a serene and sustainable oasis with a lot of plant species and diversity. Next is the Chinese Heritage Center, which again provides a lot of insight into the Chinese community of Singapore and their culture and heritage. Next is the most famous building of NTU, The first one is the home of the Nanyang Business School, Gaya, fully wooden building, and the next one is the Hive, which is another very famous hangout spot in NT. And finally, I would just like to mention, like, since Singaporeans are really passionate about their food, I just wanted to mention about the different cuisines and options that are available in campus. So one of my favorite places is the Indian stall at the Tamarind Hall Canteen, which serves up a lot of vegetarian options as well as non-vegetarian options. Next is the Hot Hideout, which provides a lot of delectable mala dishes. Next, we have the Cod Cafe, specifically the Vietnamese stall, very famous for its banh mi and pho. And we also have the Thai food stall. Thai food stall, which is also quite popular among graduate students. And one of my favorite places to have Western food is the Pasta Express at Knox Point. So these are some of my favorite like places to have lunch and dinner. So that's about it. Thank you, and I hope I could give you some insights.
Great. Thanks, Leandro. That was extremely insightful. Masters of Financial Engineering is, of course, a very popular choice now for students wanting to get into quantitative finance, investments, analysis, the world of investment banking, or even fintech and technology these days. So very popular choice again over there. Lastly, let me bring in the last student. Let me bring in Shivani, who is a MSc Business Analytics student at NBS. We are going to understand about her experience, and then I'm going to take up a lot of questions for them. I see the questions which have come in around the cost of education, scholarships, prerequisites, and all of that, career prospects as well. So I'm going to take up all of these questions for them very shortly. Shivani's is a short presentation for 5 minutes, so let's take that, and then we'll come to the questions. So stay put with us. Shivani, over to you.
Hi, thank you. I'll just share. Yeah. Let me know if my screen is
It
visible.
is. It is.
Hi, everyone. I'm Shivani, and I'm currently studying business analytics at NBS. So I'll talk briefly about my journey. So starting from my schooling, I completed my schooling from a CBSE school, and I opted for physics, chemistry, maths combination along with economics, and then I was preparing for JEE mains and advanced in my 12th grade, hoping to enter into IITs like every other Indian. But then I chose to not go to IITs, and then I moved to LSR, which is a part of Delhi University, where I considered taking up statistics honors as my major degree, and I did my minors in economics. Throughout my undergrad days, I was keeping myself involved with a lot of activities like organizing department events or participating in the case competitions. And I was also a part of the dance club in my undergrad. And because I was not sure which industry I wanted to get into after my undergrad, I thought consulting would be the best option for me, where I could get exposure to multiple industries and how the actual corporate businesses work. So I plan to join a management consulting company called Praxis Global Alliance, where I worked for around 1.5 years and got an opportunity to work for different clients like venture capitalists or private equity, and projects ranging from electric vehicles or healthcare or neobanks. So I got to work on a lot of um, I got a lot of hands-on experience with while working at Praxis, and further I decided to go to NTU for my master's degree in business analytics. So my decision for uh, at the MSBA currently, I'm one of the 12 Indians that the MSBA course has, and I'm a part of the brand ambassador as well. And I'm the weekend planner of my class. So yesterday, I mean, weekend came a little early, so we went to a board game cafe. So that was a brief background about me and why I chose to do MSBA. So I feel that the learning process would be a little more structured, and I could learn programming and coding more formally because I come from a statistics background, and we were not doing a lot of coding during my statistics. So I thought that this would be a great platform where I could learn coding more professionally. And the one thing that stood out for me for joining MSBA at NTU was the data practicum. So that is essential module where we are supposed to do an internship as the part of the course curriculum. So it's not just learning in the class, but also applying what we have learned in the class in a real world example. And then was pivoting into a more technical role because while I was working as a business analyst at Praxis, I realized that there was a gap that I need to bridge between using my business understanding and using my technical capabilities to solve those business problems. So I feel that MSBA could help me bridge that gap. And the third most important aspect was the professional growth and leadership, because we have people coming in from different countries and different backgrounds, and some of them are from accounting background or finance background or economics. So it's a great opportunity to interact with everyone, get to know about their experiences, their work, their career journey, and then learn along with them. So that was another thing. And then was getting the foundation ready for the future skills. So because the world in technology, it's changing every day. It's said that the technology changes every day. So to keep up with the changing world, it's necessary to have a good foundation and to know where we are heading. So I think that MSBA is that platform that will make me ready for the future changes in technology. Talking about preparing for the big move, so I was very active and checking my emails very regularly, attending all the briefing sessions, taking note of the important deadlines, like Gopika was also mentioning, like applying visa or when the classes are starting, when you need to book your flights. So you need to take a note of those important dates, and then printing the necessary documents for verification, connecting with the batchmates and seniors, because of course it helps a lot, and watching videos of the students who are currently on campus. So NTU has a lot of content on social media. I would recommend you should follow them on social media like YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, and you would get a deeper insight into what a day looks like when you would be coming here to study. So that would give you a sort of comfort to know what you are going to experience. And last but not least, cherishing your time with your family and friends. So have a lot of good times with them before you come here. Moving on about my first experience, my first impression of Singapore or NTU. So the picture that you can see here on the top left is from 2013. That was 10 years ago. That was the first time I came to Singapore as a tourist. And the picture on the right is this year. So this is like 10 years. It makes me feel very nostalgic that 10 years ago I was here as a tourist. And that that tourism gave me so much confidence. I still remember like my way back to home. I was talking to my dad wanting to study in Singapore because I really loved the culture and the environment in the country, because everything is very systematic, and people are very open to talk, and the culture is quite diverse here. So you won't feel very left out, and because English is widely spoken, so communication is also not a barrier. So you can consider coming here and studying. And talking about my first impression of NTU, so the leftmost picture is at NTU we have a lot of open study areas, which gives you a beautiful view. So you can study with a view. And the second one is of course the Hive. The third one is the evening sky. So while you are at NTU, you can go around the campus. The campus is huge, so you can go for walks during evenings, and the evenings are quite beautiful. So you would want to cherish the evening skies. And the fourth one is the inside of Kaya. So we have round tables and study sections wherein you can have group discussions and you can just sit there and study. So these are some of the pictures from my earlier days at NTU. Um, Talking about my first impression, my of with my classmates and professors. So the leftmost picture is the team bonding activity that we had. So the first time we were meeting did not actually feel that we were meeting for the first time, because we already had classes online for a month before that. So this is the team bonding session that we had where we were given certain activities. It was like a treasure hunt within the college campus. So we got to know campus even better. Along with that, we also got to know a lot about our classmates. So that was a good experience. And the second picture in the middle is the seminar room. So this is where we have our classes. So I still remember like watching one of the videos before coming to NTU and seeing people from different countries sitting together and studying. I was very scared, like if I would be able to fit into this. But today, when I look back, I mean, this is my favorite part of the entire day. I look up to the classes because it's not just study in this room, but you also get to know so much about different cultures and people coming from different countries. And the next is the last picture is my favorite so far. We had a presentation on the last day of our first trimester where the professor treated us all with donuts. So it was a really sweet gesture to end the first trimester. Talking about how is Singapore different? So yes, you can say that English is widely spoken here, but we have something called Singlish here, which is quite similar to English. But as you can see that yes is not said yes, but it's Canla. It's a very local way of saying yes in Singapore. So yeah, that is something that was different, and I got to learn only after I came here to study. And the best thing about studying in Singapore is you have a lot of places in and around Singapore to explore. So I like staying outdoors. So I've done 3 to 4 treks so far. Some of them are posted here. And then I went to Vietnam for my trimester break. And then last week I went to Johor Bahru for just to hang out with my friends, because in trimester 2 our classes have been shuffled and we are studying with a new group of people. So just wanted to know them better. So this I thought that this would be the perfect way of getting to know them even better outside class. And just a final tip, like before you move here, you should do your research about the course and college you want to go, connect with the people and the students who are currently studying at NTU. And you should be very open to the cultural diversity, because you're in for a treat if you want to try new cuisine or make new friends or get to know about different cultures. And as we have already seen in previous presentations also, it's quite warm in Singapore, so pack convenient clothes for yourself. And because we have a lot of MRT, like train and bus facility for transportation, so get familiar with the EasyLink card or the local SIM card that would just help you to transition smoother into Singapore. And finally, make a bucket list of all the things that you want to study, that you want to explore while you're studying. If you want to stay outdoors, look for treks. If you want to go around Singapore, just look for the places that you want to visit or the cuisines you want to try. And yes, you would enjoy your time while you're studying here. So that's all from my end, and would be happy to answer any of your questions now.
Great. Thanks, Shivani. That was extremely detailed, extremely insightful as well. With that, let's go to the Q&A. I see a lot of questions have come in. A lot of you have posted questions in the chat as well. My only request to those who have posted questions in the chat would be to post them in the Q&A box so that we can pick them up in a more structured manner. If you haven't upvoted a question, or if you like a particular question and want an answer to that, just upvote that question, click the thumbs up so that I know that's an important question and I'll pick up that relevant question to ask our panelists today. So with that, let's go to Q&A. And the very first most upvoted question which I have currently, Regine, is around career services and your career services basically, and the opportunities in Singapore for programs like MSc Finance, Business Analytics, Marketing Science, accounting as well. So how does this whole thing work at NBS?
Maybe I can share a little bit first, and the student can, supplement with more concrete, some of the things that they've done. So definitely at Nanyang Business School, we actually have a dedicated careers office just for the master students in the business school. So all our students have direct access to them, so they're able to, reach out to them for one-on-one career coaching. So I think right during, already from the start, during orientations, students will already be introduced to a careers office and what they need to do to help them in the next 1 year. There's lots of workshops, going on, to provide the career support for our students. because each program, they all have like own WhatsApp group, and each program have their own career, kind of like a career lead, in charge of their program. So I always see them, in the WhatsApp group, posting, there's this event, that event, please job posting here, please go and check out, please apply. I see that happening almost many days over the week. So there's definitely a lot of support going on to a student, and we highly encourage students to be proactively to work together with the careers office. Yeah. So perhaps any, Shivani, Gopita, Leandro, please share some of your own experiences with career office. Yeah.
I understand for Shivani, Gopika, Leandro, it's just been a few months in the program over there, but any touch points that you have had with career services so far, and what you've seen other alumni, right? Your seniors from previous classes, which kind of companies they have gone for, what kind of support they have got from the institution, if you can throw some light on that.
Yeah, so I would say that just after even within a month after we came to NTU, we had like a lot of workshops related to resumes, your cover letters, and grooming workshops or interviews. So so those were some of the workshops that we had initially, and then after that, it's like a lot of companies keep on visiting campus. So all these, I believe the career development office plays a huge part in inviting these companies to have talks and sessions where they'll be basically sharing what are the ideal candidates they want, and what are the things that you need to prepare for interviews for these companies. So in that way, it's quite insightful. And I would say I'm not really sure about the placement statistics, but for the financial engineering program, a lot of, I would say more than 60% of the students who are placed in Singapore are mainly in the banking sector, so sell side firms. Also, you have a few who are into buy side, so hedge funds and asset management companies. So a few of them are also in those roles, but it's majorly the investment banking and the buy side firms. And yeah, so I would say that there is definitely a lot of help. You also have a lot of career coaches and mentors where if you want one-on-one any advice or any doubt that you want to clarify, they help a lot. So in that way, I'd say the career development office is quite helpful.
Right, great. Shivani, Gopika, any touch points for you guys so far?
So for me, very initially, it was not even a month where we had started studying here, and I actually had a one-on-one session with my career lead. So that gave me that made me more confident, because that session was not just to talk about my resume or what I want to do in my career, but the career lead helped me craft my resume according to what I want, understanding what are the requirements, what is it that I'm aspiring for, what kind of roles, and how should I go into this job market to get a better understanding and be more well prepared for it. So getting that personal assistance to make my CV accordingly really helped me and gave me that confidence that I am being supported by the institution.
Yeah, just adding on to that, to what Leandro and Shivani said, is I think for every course there is a specific career lead that has, and you can talk to them. They're very open. You can just reach out to them, and we've been having coffee chat sessions with employees. There are also a lot of workshops that are happening, so we can take part in that. And yeah, so it keeps happening along the course, and it's really good. Yeah.
Super. And of course, Singapore is the regional destination. So a lot of companies that operate in India as well have their regional headquarters in Singapore. So a lot of that connections and opportunities across the geographies as well. The next question which I want to take up, Regine, is around the total cost of education. So this is the most upvoted question right now asked by Nikhil, who is asking how much is the total cost of education and what is the initial funding that they need to show if they get an admit to start their visa application.
Okay. So because different program has different tuition fees, so it's hard to tell the total cost. But what I could share is kind of like the living expenses that you probably want to set aside. So I think because campus housing, depending on whether you get campus housing or not, because it's highly sought after and demand is really high, but supply is very small. So if you are fortunate enough to get campus housing, I think you should be able to live with, depending on your lifestyle, you should be able to live on a monthly Singapore dollars 1,500 to 1,008 kind of budget. But if not, if you have to get outside of campus housing, I would say 2,000 at least, or to 2,005 Singapore dollars that you should set aside for a 1-year program on a per month basis. Yeah. So the amount of money that you need to secure your place in the program is actually $21,000 800. Yeah. So this is the enrollment fee, which is actually, it will also be part of the tuition fee, because the remaining will be, this enrollment fee will actually be deducted from your total tuition fee, and the remaining will be paid in different installments over the course of your program. Yeah, so that is the initial fee that you probably need to have ready if you are offered admissions to the program. Yeah.
All right, great. Just for the benefit of the audience, let me clarify this, that the Singapore dollar and INR conversion rate is different than what it is for US dollars. So don't assume that it's directly 83. The current exchange rate that I can see is around 62 Indian rupees for each Singapore dollar. So when you're doing your calculation, when you're looking at 20,000 or 60,000 Singapore dollars, you need to multiply it by 62, 62.5 to get your calculation right. Don't assume it to be 83. Great. Regine, then you're linking to the funding aspect. The next question which usually comes up is around scholarships, right?
Yes.
So how are candidates selected for a scholarship? And if you can also, if you don't mind, talking about the 3 scholarships available to attendees of today's session through the Seed Scholarships Fund.
Yes. So of course, the Seed Scholarship Fund is a very generous partial scholarship that we're offering exclusively for Seed attendees. So it covers 30% of the tuition fee if you're awarded. Generally, for all our specialized master's program, we also have the merit-based scholarship, which is also a partial scholarship. But generally, the amount, the quantum of the scholarship is actually about 10 to 20%. And all these are decided by a scholarship committee. So for MBA program, we also have a partial scholarship available as well, that applicants can apply as well. Yes. So yeah, so I think Sanjay, you have just posted the information on the SEEDS global scholarships. So yeah, we welcome everyone to apply for that.
Perfect. So just for clarification, these scholarships are up to 30% of the tuition fee, which is higher than usually what a merit scholarship be. So this is a higher opportunity. This covers up to 30% of your tuition fee if you get through to any of the master's programs at NBS. Regine, one follow-on question. Are these scholarships exclusively just for Indian students? I see there are some attendees from other geographies. I see some people from the African continent has also joined in, even though it's very early in the morning, it's 6 or 7 a.m. Still, they have dialed into this session. So are these exclusively just for Indian candidates, or are these open to other geographies as well?
So the one that awarded by Nanyang Business School is open to all nationalities. So we welcome everyone. I think the one for SEED, true SEED, I think we have specified is for Indian nationality, for Asian as well as African citizenship. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, great. And Vimla, and your questions, if you can avail both SEED and NTU scholarships together or just one. My belief is it's going to be just one. All these scholarships are being given by NBS itself. So they will decide who gets whether their own merit scholarships or the 3 committed through the Seed Scholarships Fund. They'll decide that. And possibly you will get only one of those 2 and not both. So you can't avail both kind of thing. You can't sum them up as such. Great. I think this is a lot of questions around funding that I've covered already. Placements also, Siddhi, I know yours is the most supported question next, but they have already spoken about the support that they get from the career services. So tremendous support over there. For statistics, I would suggest check out the website, check out the online forum. So there's going to be a lot of information around statistics already available there. So I'm not going to go into that right now. The next question, which is again most supported, and this is around funding. So that's already covered. But Archie, I want to take the next part of your question and combine this with some other question. is around the background that the students should come from for various programs. So firstly, Regine, do you accept 3-year undergraduate degrees or not? A lot of students in India have 3 years bachelor's degrees, so do you accept those?
Yes, we do. We accept that. So there is yeah. So whether it's 3 year, 4 years, or we are
Perfect.
yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
Perfect. So Archie, one case in point is Shivani. She did a bachelor's at Our Lady Shri Ram College under Delhi University, and I believe hers was a 3 years bachelor's degree. Right, Shivani? Okay, great. So that addresses that aspect. Now the next question about specific backgrounds. So Regine, for financial engineering, are there students from a certain background that you look for? So is it only open for engineers from India, or are you also open to considering commerce or other graduates from India for financial engineering?
Okay, so I think that's a good question for financial engineering because there's a lot of advanced mathematics courses that's taught in the program. So we do prefer students to have very strong math background. So we welcome students, from mathematics, statistics, engineering, certain common background is like finance, econometrics. Yeah, generally, if you study a lot of mathematics in your undergraduate and you get good score and you love math, yeah, we welcome you to join the program. Yeah, otherwise, you can ask Leandro. It's a lot of tough maths, right? You need to be good in math in order to kind of like get through the program.
Yeah, so the program is quite technical, like a lot of mathematics and computation involved. But I can also say that in my cohort itself, there are like some students who are coming like from the accounting and accountancy, so those type of fields as well. But yeah, I would say it will definitely be more challenging if you don't have, previous background of mathematics and computing.
All right. So strong maths background is what is important. So you can come from various undergraduate study streams, but if you have done strong quantitative courses, then financial engineering is a possibility that's open for you. I'm going to cover this for each program. So let me also talk about the marketing science program.
Yeah.
So Regine and Gopika, any particular background that you look for when admitting students to the marketing sciences program?
I think we are looking for individuals who are passionate about marketing and of course we are not able to interview everybody, right? So these must be shown through what you're submitting in your application package. For example, you have very relevant work experience or internship experience that showcase that how much you like marketing, or you've done some exciting projects. Please put that into your applications. We'd like to know more about you. So definitely for marketing, I think Gopita would say that, her classmate comes from very diverse background. She's nodding her head from different backgrounds. Some of them may not be studying marketing as an undergraduate. So you did not study marketing. Some of them study like languages or even some, social sciences background, but because they are really interested to go into a marketing career, that's why they do this master's program. So maybe Gopika, if you have any, anything to add on.
Yeah, I just want to say that, our class is super diverse. There are students from tourism background, fashion design background, agricultural background also. So it's really diverse and it's really interesting, to learn from them.
Yeah.
So also just a quick check, any prerequisites for the marketing science courses? No mandatory undergraduate coursework required. So it's open to everyone.
Yes,
so
that's right.
marketing is more about passion and interest. It's about interest in consumer behavior and understanding your customer. So open to everyone, irrespective of your background as such.
Yes.
One question which I want to bring in over here from my side is the international diversity in the cohort. So Shivani, Leandro, Gopika, which countries or which nationalities of students do you see in your classes usually?
So like my class has people from China, Taiwan, India. Some of them are Singaporeans, Indonesia, Philippines. So I think like it's a good mix, and there's no one particular region that's given more weightage or preference. So people are free to come in with any background and any country. So you just need to be willing to get hands-on for coding and get ready for the more technical roles. Yeah.
I would say my program is like more skewed for Chinese students. So like I would say around 60% are Chinese, but the remaining 40% are like divided like between a lot of countries. So you have Taiwan, you have Vietnam, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Singapore, India. So yeah, you have the remaining 40% is quite split, but yeah, a lot of Chinese students in my group.
Yeah, the same from Shivani and Leandro.
Okay, great. Let me now go to the business analytics program and understand the prerequisites. So this was a question which had come up already. Very popular question. A lot of people want to look at business analytics now. So Regine, firstly, what kind of background of students do you target for the business analytics program?
So for business analytics program, we actually welcome applicants from all disciplines. So you need not come from a technical background, although we would prefer you to have some programming exposure because they will just help you in the course. Because as Shivani will probably attest to it, quite a majority of the curriculum is related to programming. So I would probably want you to check that you really like programming. So at least, go take some free courses to see if there's something that you can do for a year intensively. So we use a lot of Python programming in the program, and that's something that I think is quite you can get like free courses or online and on YouTube as well. So I think it's easy to find learn for yourself if there's something that you have the aptitude for. So for this program, like I mentioned, there's no specific background that we're looking for. We even have students who come from from languages, history background, and they graduated. So but you must be able to, in the beginning, especially if you don't come from programming, it's a steeper learning curve for you, but you must be able to put in the hard work to make sure that usually by trimester 2, you're able to catch up. Yeah.
Shivani, just to bring you in over here, so you came from a mathematics background, right? Your bachelor's
Yes,
was maths,
statistics.
statistics. So you didn't have any coding or computing background as such. How difficult was it to catch up and cope up with the course? And also, if you can talk about the kind of companies which recruit graduates for, if you have seniors, what kind of companies or industries they have gone to post their program at NBS?
Yeah. So answering the first question, for me, because I come from a stats background, we don't have a lot of programming, but we have like programming thinking modules. Like we do not do hardcore programming on Python or SQL, but we have an introductory course on R. So I was somewhat familiar with coding, and then because of my interest, I further kept self-learning through online courses like Coursera or Udemy. Just in bits and pieces, while also I was working, I would try to put do some analysis on SQL or Python and just be very familiar with those concepts. So like Regine was also mentioning that it's good to familiarize yourself first before like starting the curriculum, because trimester 1 could seem a bit more hectic because it's a big move and you're settling in. So it's always preferred to have some background for yourself before coming in. And talking about the second question, where the seniors are currently working or what kind of career prospects. So people generally go for business analyst roles in consulting, or they would go for data analytics or data scientist kind of role. So there like majority of companies these days look for data analysts because they want to know about the customer retention or what are the market trends. So mostly like e-commerce platforms or any tech companies are willing to hire for data analysts and data scientists, and even the consulting companies. So yeah.
Interesting. So I do see a number of questions still continuing around the cost of living. So I'm going to come to those shortly. I'm going to take that very quickly. But the first question which I want to take up is around the GMAT and GRE requirement regime, and if any waivers are available for those. So CFA level 1 holders, any exceptional cases where you would grant a GRE or a GMAT waiver?
If you graduate with a good GPA from a highly reputable university, we are able to on a case-by-case basis consider waiver for you. Yeah.
All right. So strong GPA at a reputed undergraduate institution, you can possibly request on a case-on-case basis, and maybe an exception may be possible, but nothing for CFA level 1.
No. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, unless if you have a CFA and you also come from a reputable university, I think it's something that we could look
Okay.
at. Yeah.
So strong GP at the undergrad level could be the that you can use to possibly request for one, but
Yes.
mostly that would be the only opportunity for you. Okay. As Regine already mentioned, for students coming whose undergraduate education background is in English, you don't need a IELTS or a TOEFL score, so that's already waived off. Only if your undergraduate education was taught not in English, then possibly you need to look at that. Otherwise, that's not a requirement as well. Okay, now I'm gonna next go back to the cost of living aspect because that's come up. So Rajin already mentioned about the student housing. So if you are staying in this, the university provided housing, then cost is on the lower side. If you are staying outside of campus, then you pay around 2,000 Singapore dollar, if I remember that correctly.
Yeah, 2000 to 2005. I think depending on what kind of housing you get and the kind of lifestyle.
Okay.
Yes.
So let me bring in the students first.
Yes.
If any one of you were to take us, and if you don't mind sharing this, it's a very personal question, but what are the major expenses that you undertake on a monthly basis? And besides this, what were your sources of funding? How did you get funding to pursue your studies at Nanyang Business School in Singapore? Who is comfortable sharing this? I see no one wants to talk about share their finances, but just a broad overview. So
Yeah.
this much on food, this much on transportation, this much on flights back to India, and so forth. Some broad categories if you're comfortable.
Yeah, so mostly the day-to-day expense consists of like monthly it would be a rent, firstly, and second would be food. So these are the two major costs that I am incurring right now because I'm staying on campus. So the transportation cost is not a lot for me. So these are the two major things that I'm spending on currently. And the next major cost is if I'm flying back or if I'm taking a vacation somewhere around Singapore. So those I think these three comprise of more or less the costs that I'm incurring currently while studying.
A monthly estimate on how much do you end up spending on food, eating in or eating out combined?
Mostly because I eat on campus, I spend around $10 to $12 a day on food. So it's around $400 to $450 on food every month.
That would be a fair estimate, Leandro Gopika. Okay.
Very
Yeah.
similar.
So great. So for the audience, you have got a breakup of the housing. So depending on whether you're in the student housing or staying outside, take that into account, plus around $400 Singapore dollars on food, and then the rest would be discretionary spending like flying back to India, travel, vacations, etc., so on and so forth. Great. I know we are over time, but I still want to take some 2, 3 more questions. There are a lot of questions still coming in. I don't want to leave them unaddressed. Are we comfortable answering questions for another 5-10 minutes? Great.
I'm definitely okay. Yeah.
So the next question which is coming up is from Rishiv, and I want to take up. This is around any discrimination that you faced or any challenges that you faced as an Indian student in Singapore. I've been there a couple of times. I've found it to be a very friendly city and a nation. But any challenges that you have faced as an Indian living in Singapore?
Yeah, I can go first. Like for me personally, there have been like no such instances where I felt discriminated. Yeah, I would say that like the vendors or the stall owners are like they're just too busy in their day-to-day work. So like you might get offended when they are just not paying a lot of attention to you, but like it's definitely not intentional. And even in students, because there's a lot of diversity, so like no real cases of discrimination for me.
Savani, go
Adding,
pick up.
adding on to Leandro's experience, like the food vendors won't discriminate you. It's just that you might feel a little bit of barrier because they are not very fluent in English. So explaining them what exactly you want could take some time, but they are definitely not discriminating against you. So I would say discrimination is a very strong word. I haven't faced anything of that sort yet. And it has been very smooth. It's just that accommodating and adjusting to a new country takes time. So you just need to be a little more patient and open-minded.
Yeah, I mean, even I haven't faced any. In fact, I found them to be very warm and kind. there were people who actually, when I was like, I almost got lost in the MRT. So the people who came and they helped me out. So yeah, I didn't face any discrimination as such.
All right, great, perfect. One question, Regine, is around part-time work opportunities. Are students or the student visa allowed to work part-time to fund their studies?
Yes, so if during the school term, you can work a maximum of 16 hours per week, but during the school holiday or, there isn't a restriction. Yeah.
All right, so 16 hours per week during the school times, during holidays, no such restriction.
Yes.
Shivani, Leandro, Gopika, my assumption is it's still too early. You guys have just started the course a few months ago.
Yeah,
Any
but
of
that's
you,
what was the terms and conditions of the visa.
right? But any of you working part-time currently? Any of
Yeah,
you?
not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
I'm not working currently, but I was working last time as well.
Okay, you were. Okay.
Yeah.
So great. So that is another possibility. Uh, okay, I think I've answered most of the questions, but Regine, there are some questions around the MBA program which are still open. I know our focus today was on the master's programs, but if you want to just give through firstly the basic eligibility criteria for the MBA program and any special points around the MBA program as well.
I'll be happy to do that. So our MBA program is actually a 1-year accelerated program. So unlike 1-year MBA program is really gaining popularity because it's a much smaller cost of opportunity cost that you're giving up work. So you need to have at least 2 years of full-time work experience before you can join the program. So GMAT and GRE is a compulsory requirement for MBA. And of course, if your undergraduate degree program is fully taught in English language, we are happy to waive off the TOEFL or IELTS requirements. And of course, our MBA program, we have different tracks. So if you like to specialize, for example, in like business analytics, sustainability, marketing, strategy, banking, finance, we have these different tracks for students, MBA students, to kind of tailor their learning in this 1-year program. And of course, like our specialized master's program, you can also extend your MBA program to a 1.5 years program through the internship module after the coursework. So you can kind of like, use the last extend by 6 months to do internship. Our MBA program also have several double degrees program with our different partners. So we have the 40 months double MBA program with the Waseda University, where students spend 2 trimesters in Singapore, NTU, and then a final trimester at Waseda University in Japan. And then we also have the 2-year double master's program with ESSEC Business School, as well as the St. Gallen University. So the first year we spend in NTU and the second year with our partner university. So at the end of these 2 years, you actually get an NTU MBA program, and from our partner university, I think it's a master's in international management. Yeah, so the good thing about all these double master's program is that you only need to pay the tuition fee of our NTU MBA program. So we are also now accepting applications for our next year July intake. So, we welcome you to put in your application if you meet, our admissions requirements. So we welcome students from all discipline, for MBA. So, but it's just that the work requirement is a little bit stricter there. Yeah.
So great. So point to note over there is that you need minimum 2 years of full-time work experience. And I see there was a question around this. This work experience needs to be post completing your undergraduate education. So part-time work during college times, internships don't count towards that 2 years. So you need to complete your bachelor's, then get at least 2 years of work experience to be eligible for the MBA program. If not the MBA, then you can possibly during this duration look at any of the master's program. So the master's in accountancy, business analytics, financial engineering, marketing science. These are opportunities that are still open to you. All right.
Yeah,
great. I think we have covered most of the questions. Suhani, there's a question around ROI of the program. My advice would be, see, none of them are from the career services team. The employment statistics would be on the website. So look at the employment statistics, look at the average salary, the companies where students are going, do your back calculation on the cost, the expenses. So there will be shared the cost of living, tuition, all of that is available publicly. So take that into account. Do your own calculation. Usually for any good program, and I'm sure this is true for NBS's, all NBS's programs as well. Usually, if you are a good student, graduate with decent grades, get a good opportunity, then usually you're able to recover your investment within 3 to 5 years of completing your program. That tends to be the average for most of the top schools in the world, and I'm pretty sure that's true for Nanyang as well. I hope that addresses most of the questions. My apologies to those whose questions I've left unanswered. Uh, it's limitation of time out here. We're already at the 75-minute mark. So I'm going to take your permission to wrap up today's session and thank Regine, Shivani, Gopika, and Leandro for taking your time on this on a Saturday and sharing their experience with us today. Just a few quick reminder points to the audience who's still in the room. There are special scholarships available, which Nanyang has committed to the Seed Scholarships Fund. I'd already posted the link to it in the chat. If you haven't been able to find it, just go to the Seed website. You'll find the link over there. The next application, as Regine already mentioned, they evaluate applications on a rolling basis. So don't wait till Jan, Feb to apply. If you have an existing GMAT or a GRE score, submit your application at the earliest. It's always beneficial to apply early to a competitive program. It improves your chances of getting an admission and getting a scholarship as well. So make the most of that opportunity as well. Any parting words from Regine, Shivani, Leandro, please feel free.
Well, I think a lot of people always ask me, what is the chances of getting in? So I always tell them, if you do not put in an application, you have no chance. But if you put in an application, there is a chance. Yeah. So I would say go for it if you feel that this is a program that you really want to get into. So yeah, why not just go for it? Yeah.
That's absolutely fair advice. If you don't try, you're obviously not going to make it. So give it your best shot.
Yep.
Shivani, Leandro, Gopika, thank you again for taking out the time. If there are any parting words, feel free.
Thank you, Regine. It's been a great opportunity to share our experience. Hopefully, we have motivated some other students as well.
Absolutely. Great.
I would just like to thank for this opportunity. And I would say that if you would have even 1% out, just reach out to any of us, and networking won't hurt. So just talk to any of us so you get some more clarity and do apply.
All right.
Yeah, thank you so much to our students, for all the authentic sharing, and they are very kindly agreed to, ask you all to kindly connect to reach out to them. So thank you so much for opening up your personal time to maybe answering a lot of questions. And I really am very, very thankful for all the time that you have given to share all your experience. And also thank you, Sanjay, for hosting us on a Saturday morning over. Yeah, so thank you so much, Sanjay, and your team for helping us with this event.
Absolutely. Been a pleasure. Have a great day, everyone. Have a great weekend. Take care.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.